Hi guys, welcome to Trendmakers with me, Isidore Baltazar. On my show, we talk about all the latest trends, fashion, hair, makeup, all of that good stuff that you want to know about. And if you're here, that's because you like that stuff just as much as I do. Or you're ready to learn about this stuff. So ask an expert like me. All right, today we're going to be talking about shoes, guys. We're talking about, well, for the guys. We're talking about many different styles of men's shoes, just so you guys know that you do have options and you don't always have to just wear sneakers. You can do other things. And here, well, today, I'll tell you about them. So, to start off, we're starting off with the Chelsea boot. That is the name of this style of boot and this style of shoe. It's one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of this. It did make a coming back splash, I want to say a year or two ago, and just really stuck around. I know that a lot of people I've been seeing as of late, that a lot of people are saying that these are out of trend or on their way out of trend, but I'm still a big fan of these. I think they look good with a pair of jeans. May those jeans be solid, ripped, skinny, probably not wide legged, but I think they will look really good with something like that. I'm not a big fan of these paired with like sweats or anything like that. I've seen people do that before, and I'm just not into it. It doesn't look good to me. But I've seen it done, so depends on what you're trying to do and what you feel comfortable with. Of course, always keep that in mind. It will help the overall look. But this one is more of a casual style Chelsea boot, and I do have a little bit more formal ones that we'll be seeing next. This is a perfect example of more of a formal style Chelsea boot, and as you can see, this guy has them paired with a pair of jeans that are just really cuffed. It looks like it's folded a few times, but I like the way these look. They look really good. I like the details here on the bottom with the sole, and it looks like there's some wood in there, so just makes it look more of an expensive shoe versus that first Chelsea boot that we were looking at that had more of a casual like utilitarian style, more so like a boot feel to the bottom and the sole. The sole really does change a lot of things when it comes to shoes, guys. Just to let you know, you can see a big difference in this one versus that previous one that we're just looking at. And again, how he has them folded with his jeans. Make sure with a Chelsea boot you don't have your pants just like sitting over the whole boot or covering the ankle part of the boot, because that's what makes this a Chelsea boot. It's a part of showcasing the shoe, and a lot of the times if you get a really nice one, you'll get some nice cool details that are in that little cut that has the kind of like stretchy fabric in between for you to put on the shoe a lot more easier. And that's always a good thing that you want to be showcased or to be seen, you know? Why not? That's the point of you buying the shoe. This is another style of Chelsea boot. Again, this one is more of a like muted color, and it has more of a simple, clean lines with the stretchy part. How I was telling you guys before, that usually has like a cool detail. This one has like a different kind of texture and fabric than what the rest of the shoe looks like. So it just gives you an offset, and it's a different color. So it'll just give you a little feel, a little something different, a little bit depth to your shoe. And I like that too. I really like the color palette of this shoe more than the actual shoe itself. And then here are a few other Chelsea boots that you guys can see. This guy, how he has them, how he has it styled on with this outfit is the overall kind of consensus of what you would be looking like when you're wearing the boots. And again, he has them like his pants are just like sitting over the boot. I'm not the biggest fan of that look per se. I would like it better how it was cuffed, but doesn't look bad like that either. And this is just different varieties and colors that you can see in a regular Chelsea boot. Again, not much different from the first one, but you get to see what happens when you play with a different kind of fabrication on this style of shoe. And I can tell you a little bit of fun facts about the Chelsea boot. In doing some light research, I did see that it's in a really old style shoe that came back from like a Victorian period, and both men and women used to wear them back in the day. And I know that they do have a lot of women's style Chelsea boots, so it's still the same as today. But it's, I guess, you know, there's a lot more different shoes now. We got a lot more variety, so you don't just have to wear one style of shoe. but this one actually dates back pretty far. So it's been around for a while. Some fun facts. Now, a Timberland boot. For all of my, well, this is a construction boot. This one is a Timberland boot. But construction boots have been around forever. I don't think they've only always been just for construction. I don't know if maybe before Timberland was like a big thing, that maybe it was just for construction, but now it's like everywhere and for everybody, because everybody wears Timberland boots. I'm pretty sure everybody has a pair of construction style boots. But construction style boots, I think, are great to have in your repertoire. I think, guys, that this is an awesome style boot that you can, that's very versatile, and it does play a big role, especially for people that live in more harsher winter conditions. This shoe does really help keep your foot warm, so it does serve a purpose. Now this one is a combat style boot, which if you guys remember a few years back, I want to say like in 2012, 2011, this shoe was really making a big splash, and everybody was wearing combat boots. I think they're still nice. It's still a nice boot. I'm not the biggest fan of these per se, but I still see why people are into it. I can still see it looking like a complete look and making an outfit. I don't really think it's in style or on trend, but just because it's not on trend doesn't mean you cannot wear them. So, but it is a nice shoe. Now this boot really stuck out to me. It does have more of like a European style to it, almost like a witch boot. But I do like it still. I don't know if I would wear it, but I can see it being worn by somebody else. I really like the lace up, how it's laced up on how they did the lacings on here. The little eyelet details or whatever these little things are here, that the little hooks that you to lace up the boot. I really like that. I think this is more like a lumberjack style boot is the vibe that I'm getting from it, but I do like it a lot. It's really the sole. What keeps me looking at this boot and keeps me intrigued by this boot is the sole of the boot. I'm a big fan of the way this boot is here. Yeah, I like that. It's a cool detail that they got going on, and it gives you a really luxe feel. So I'm a big fan of that one. That's something to keep in mind too, guys. The sole of the kind of shoe that you're going for, you know? Okay, 1 second. Sorry guys, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Okay, here we go. The sneaker. On to the next shoe. So we're talking about a tennis shoe here. This one is more like the sock sneaker that has become more popular over the few years. I do like this because it still has that kind of like chunky new sole that everybody is wearing now when it comes to sneakers, more like a dad, more like the dad sneaker that everybody's talking about. So I do like this more of chunky thing here. It looks really good. I like this, how they combine the whole sock thing here. It looks cool. It's a cool looking sneaker. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of these per se, but I do think it's a cool looking tennis shoe. This one is more reminiscent to like your typical like basketball sneaker. Those to me just will never go out of style. I think the only time that they do start to go out of style is when you become a little bit older in age. That's when, you know, I think you're gonna have to just upgrade and grow up with your style, and your age is changing, and so should the way you dress. I don't think you should always wear sneakers and freaking basketball jerseys like your entire life. I think you should, you know, upgrade that and go from a little different. But I mean, if you're doing this like to play basketball in, if you actually play basketball, then I mean, by all means, yeah, definitely use the sneaker for what it's for. But just walking around and then being a sneakerhead at like 50 something years old, I don't know. But if that's your life. It's an interesting one. Okay, now we're talking about more of a classic running style sneaker. I happen to be a big fan of these kind of sneakers. I just like the way that they feel. It feels a lot more comfortable, and I just like the look of it. It's more of a classic shoe, and it's something that you can almost wear year round, especially if you happen to live in an ideal place that has like this similar kind of weather throughout the year. So maybe like somewhere like California, where you can wear things like Chucks or these kind of sneakers, these kind of running sneakers, which I am a big fan of. So, and these ones I like a lot. Classic Reebok style training sneaker or running sneaker. Sandals. Okay, guys, for sandals. Now, the big thing for, excuse me, what? The big thing about sandals that I like, well, not that I like, but a big important rule for sandals that you should keep in mind is make sure that you get a pedicure. Okay? If you're gonna wear sandals, make sure your feet are looking somewhat decent. At least have your toenails clipped, because you don't gotta look like no monster walking down the street with no freaking, like, come on, closed toe. If you're not gonna clean them, keep them up. Yeah, get you a sneaker. You don't need to be wearing no sandal. But if you are gonna wear a sandal, just make sure your feet are manicured, please, for everybody, because you don't got to be walking around looking like that. And here goes some Birkenstocks. I love Birkenstocks. They're super comfortable. What I like about, well, not at first. You have to make sure that you break them in, because that cork that the sole is made out of is very hard. And you know, the more that you wear them, the better they start to like form to your feet, just like any like real leather shoe. This goes for any shoe across the board. When you're coming to like actual like leather shoes, good shoes that you're gonna be wearing, you're gonna have to break in those shoes. Your feet are gonna have to form, you know, with the leather, so that way you're getting a better feel and you're not just like walking around with your feet in pain, because that is what's gonna happen when you first start wearing these, just to let you know. But I am a big fan of these shoes. I will say, my husband, funny story, guys, my husband wore these to Disneyland or Disney World in Florida, and we were walking around and he was dying in pain because he never wore Birkenstocks before, and he tried to do it at a big ass amusement park, and that was what he should not have done, because he was in pain. So make sure you wear these a few good times before you try to really wear them for a stretch of long walking, because you will be in pain. But they're a nice shoe. I do like the variety that Birkenstocks come in, because it's a lot of different styles of like slidey style sandals. Plus it just looks really good with the nice buckles and cool little things that they have going on with those shoes. And tell me, because I heard that you can always get the cork replaced, because the cork gets damaged just by regular wear and tear. And I heard that you can send them back to Birkenstock and get them replaced. Somebody let me know in the comments if that is true. And while you're commenting, also like and subscribe to Trendmakers. All right. And now these are more like a slide. I'm not exactly sure what type of sandal these are, but they look really nice. I like how it has the detail on the side, where it's like two different straps here, right, that you see from the outside, but then on the inside of the sole, you see that those straps are actually connected. So it's a pretty cool shoe. I just like that detail, and I like this this pop of different fabric here that's on the sole. That looks really good. Again, guys, one of those shoes, key things to remember is, please keep your feet well groomed if you're going to be walking around showing them to the world. You don't gotta look gross. And these sandals now, they just look super comfortable. I like these. I actually have a pair similar to these that are New Balances, and they just have that nice, really like a sneaker-like sole, and it just makes them so comfortable. Like you can really just do, and they're like adventure sandals. You can do anything in those sandals. And I had a pair when we were on a cruise ship for my honeymoon. Me and my husband were on a cruise ship, and those were like the best things that I could have purchased and brought with us on that trip, because those sandals were just perfect, amazing. I recommend them to anybody. If you're into sandals, definitely look into that sneaker-like sandal. Now, these are loafers. Kind of more your standard loafer, not really clean. A nice fancy shoe. I like these because they're a shoe that you can dress up and dress down. It's very, 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 very versatile. And I like the different forms of loafers, actually. They come in many different styles, so we're going to go over a few of those now. But this is a nice shoe that you can wear with jeans, like he has them here, nice little cuff, nice and clean. Or if it's even with like a pant, I think it would still look really good. Like a, not a pair of jeans, but like a regular pant, like dress pant. Or even like a crop pant. It would look really good. So I'm into it. And I like the hardware on loafers. And these ones I definitely am a fan of. And these here, now I've always heard of these as being referred to as smoking loafers. I don't know why that is. I will say that I believe that I actually have these same shoes, but these loafers, I believe they were called smoking loafers maybe because back in like the 50s, guys would like wear these, men would wear them and walk around outside and stuff and have a smoke. Or I mean, I don't know the history of it. So, and when I tried to find more reasons or facts to support why these are known as smoking loafers or like a cigarette shoe, I couldn't really find anything. So if you know, please get in the comments and school me. Let me know something about these shoes, because I am a fan of smoking loafers. So if you can inform me on why they're actually called that would be great. But I really like these loafers. I think they're great. They do have, again, it's a different variety style of loafer from the previous one. As you see here, this one has more of that stitching detail on the toe of the shoe, or on the top of the shoe, that really sets it apart from a smoking loafer. Other than that, it's almost the same shoe. This one is a little bit more smooth and doesn't have that detail in the front, and sometimes it doesn't have that, like how this one is a little bit more adorned here and it has these little things hanging. A lot of times they're not even like that. They don't have those tassels. Sometimes it's just like embroidery on it. But either way, I think they're a nice shoe to have, especially if you don't really like that super hard sole that kind of like click clacks, kind of like a Stacy Adams, and you want to be more of a modern style like dress shoe. I think this is a good look if you're not doing a sneaker. If you're not edgy enough to do a sneaker on your suit, you can do something like this. I think it looks good. Now this one is more of a slipper, and I've heard these been called a smoking slipper before, but I don't know if that's different from the one that's there before, because again, guys, with these shoes, I tried to look up some stuff and I couldn't really find much about them, but I just wanted to show, again, variety in different styles of men's shoes. That's the key point of this video here, of what we're talking about today. So for this one, I do like this shoe a lot. I like the fact that it's more of a slipper, and I like the fabrication on this shoe. I don't know exactly what it is, if it's like a true to what it looks like and it's like a crocodile or something, but it's a really nice detail and a really nice way to step up that shoe. Now, I have a pair of these that are suede, and I have a really hard time wearing them. I've tried to wear them a few times, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel a little bit weird when I wear them. I think it's the fact that it's a slipper and it kind of like slaps on the bottom of your feet when you're walking on them, when you're walking in them. Well, it just kind of reminds me more like a house shoe than the actual like shoe. So it's one of those kind of things. I don't know. But I do like the shoe. See, I even show love to stuff that I don't wear. But these are more like the penny loafers, which I am a fan of. I've always been a fan of penny loafers since I was a kid. It's sometimes a nerdy looking shoe, I guess, but I don't know. I like it. And this one has more of a cooler sole. It has more of like a sneaker style sole. So again, like I was saying, the sole really does make a difference in the shoe. Even though these are all loafers and you've seen a similar loafer to this one before, it still gives you a different variety because it has that different sole, and it'll give you different kind of looks and different wears with the shoe. With this one, I definitely would recommend more of like a pant. I know he has it with a jean, but I think it would look really good with like a pair of like dress pants. I think this would look good, maybe even with a suit even, who knows. But I think I'm a fan of that style of shoe. Now this one is called an Oxford, um, or I guess what, a Derby. I know people, it was called that before. This is a nice shoe. This one is more simple. It's a lot more basic than some of the others. But this one is really nice. You can tell a little bit. It's not really like high in detail, and it's not really shiny or anything along those lines. So it's really just like a basic matte Oxford. Very simple, easy to wear kind of shoe. I'm not the biggest fan of this one per se, but I do like some other styles of Oxfords, and we'll get into those as we go. Like this one, prime example. I really love this one. I know that these shoes tend to kind of sometimes hurt your ankles because of how thin that leather is, and it'll rub right against there. Oh my god, that shit is painful. I'm gonna tell you that now. But it's a nice shoe. I do like how it has this ombre fading from the tip going up, and this here, you see this detail that makes kind of like a W? That's called a wingtip. It's a really nice detail, and it's a really nice way to elevate your basic Oxford, and it gives you those really nice little eyelets, and it still gives you still keep that same closed lacing. So because it's really tight and narrow here, the shoe lacing, just that area is what it's called. Kind of a mouthful, but nice shoe. I really like this one, and this again would look really good when you're wearing like a nice suit, a nice tailored suit, or a nice tailored look. Still looks good with denim, but again, it will make sure it's something that is gonna have that ankle exposed, because if not, it'll just look really funny with a shoe and like a really long pant, with this kind of shoe and a really long pant like sitting on top of it. And here goes another style of Oxford. This is similar to the wingtips that we were looking at before. It's just solid, and it doesn't have that ombre detail that was on the toe before. It's just more of a solid brown. This looks more cleaner for like a job interview or something along those lines, is what I would recommend this shoe for. But it's a really nice shoe, still in itself. And here we go, some of your classic style Pimp Daddy Max Stacy Adams. I'm not really into these. I definitely think these are out of trend. I know a lot of older gentlemen would probably slap the shit out of me right now for saying that, because that is their Sunday's best. But I do not like that shoe at all. I'm not into it. It has this like pointy toe, square toe thing going on, and I just hate these shoes. And what's crazy too is a lot of them are like hella expensive. So you're looking at spending a whole bunch of money on a big old doofy, hard, ugly shoe. But I mean, I know somewhere out there in the beautiful wild world that somebody is in love with these shoes, and they wear them every Sunday and to every family gathering. But I hate these shoes. I think this is a better option to that style of shoe. It looks more modern. It's a similar style of dress shoe as the one before. It's just a little bit cleaner, a little bit lighter, and it looks a little nicer. It's not as bulky and misshapen. It still has that flat part on the toe, but it's not as square, and it's just not as like drawn out. And I feel like even if this guy had a bigger foot, the shoe still wouldn't look super long like that other shoe did. So yeah, that's the difference in this one, and that's the reason why I definitely think this looks much better than the other. And this one is just like a simple shoe. It's the same. I would say it's basically the same as the first one that we looked at, which was this one, but the fabrication is different. So it gives it a different feel because you went from that leather to what now is like a nubuck. This is still really nice though. I think this looks better than the leather one. It does look a little bit like ashy, but it's just the fabric. It's just the style of the fabric, so it's just what the shoe is going to look like. Keep in mind, because that's definitely going to grab dust, all the dust in the room. But it looks good. I like how he has it paired with these pants, and again has the ankle showing, because like we said, we know that it does not look good when that pant is long and sitting on top of that shoe. This is your... This shoe looks like one of the first shoes that your mom gets you when you're trying to look decent and she wants you to be dressed up. It's like the first one. I know probably everybody got this. This is where the training wheels comes on. the first pair of shoes you're gonna get that's not a sneaker, or like a sandal or something. It's like the first one, dressy shoe, usually that everybody gets. So one of our producers here, Art, Art, this was his shoe that he was in love with. So when I'm talking about this, it's so funny because I know he went through so much with this shoe. Okay, but this shoe, yeah, no. This no longer needs to be one of the shoes that you first grab, guys. There's so many options out there. You don't have to just get this plain shoe. And I know it's probably hella uncomfortable. So, yeah, just look for something different. You know, this doesn't have to be the go-to. But if you want this to be your go-to, you can still do it. Because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It looks better than that first dry-looking leather one. So, I mean, that's the only plus I would say about this one. It's a little bit more shinier. So, gives you more character, I guess, with your suit. Now this, I think, is a better spin on that previous shoe. So the lacings are gone now, and it just has these cool straps and belts. I'm a big fan of this shoe. I actually don't have a pair, but I do love them. My husband has a pair. He actually has a few pair of these shoes, and I just think that this should be what takes off the training wheels from the sneakers to the dress shoe. And it's more cleaner, it's more modern, and it just has a cooler look than that standard other shoe that we've seen before. And I love the details that they have in here. I love the fact that they have like how the dark stitching is here, then it gets lighter as the shoe keeps on going, then it gets dark again when it gets to the to another seam. It's just really cool details there, and you can really dress that shoe up and dress it down. Again, it's one of those shoes that you can wear with jeans or with dress pants or with suits or with something more of on a leisure side that's a little bit more lightweight and not so like three-piece suity. I would say maybe like a khaki pant or something along those lines, and it would still look really good. Now, these here are this one here is a moccasin, and this one here is a boat shoe that is the style of a moccasin. So they have, for the most part, a moccasin looks just like this boat shoe here, but the sole on the bottom has more of a grip. If you're familiar with like shoes for crews, anybody that works in like the restaurant industry, you know that those are the shoes that are pre-approved for you to work in the back kitchen, where you're not gonna go sliding on oil or water or whatever and make a mess. It just has like a better grip. So this has that kind of like better grip. So that's why it's more of like a boating shoe. I know a lot of people use it for, you know, water athletics or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, water activities, when you're on boats and whatnot. But it's a nice shoe. I know back in the 90s, it was a very popular shoe. I know almost every freaking guy wore Sperry's all the time. At least when I was a kid, I remember my sister's friends and my brother and my uncles and stuff being into this shoe. But it made a comeback. I think it's one of those things, one of those staples, just never goes away. So here is another, this one is a moccasin. It's similar to that Sperry, what we were looking at before. You can see the similarities in those guys. It has the same stitching on the tip like the other one has, and it has the same like eyelets and the stitching here on the side. So it looks very similar. So it's easy to be confused or to think that, you know, this one is also a moccasin when it's a boat shoe. But let's go to the moccasin. So here with the moccasin, you can see it's not as much stitching or eyelets here on the front for you to weave through. It's just kind of like already tied, permanently tied, and just like usually like one string that's just wrapping around the whole shoe. But it looks cool. This one looks more like a house shoe than an actual shoe. But I'm assuming that the sole is hard because of where he's standing outside, and it looks like he's dressed, I'm assuming, by the pant leg. So, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of these. I don't think that this style of shoe is popular now. Again, this is another moccasin that you can see more of the details on it. The lacing, like I said, being just weaved around and through the front, and how they have this stitching here at the toe. And this one, you can see the sole is a lot more harder. It has looks like a lot more nicer leather on the inside of the shoe. So I'm pretty sure this is like a casual going out shoe, but I'm just not into this. I don't think that this trend is current right now. When it did make a splash, I thought it was cool. I had myself a pair, but I know a lot of people was trying to pull off the house shoe ones. You know who you are. Speaking to you, Will. I know you was trying that in the past, didn't work. And this one is more of a traditional like moccasin, like Native American style moccasin. And these are really nice. I think if you were to do a moccasin to this current, I think you should probably stay true to the aesthetics and do something that's really culture appropriate and the actual shoe, the actual moccasin. I mean, I don't know who could pull it off. I don't think I would. I'm not a big fan of this, but somebody can do it. All right. So my favorite Crocs. I know Croc isn't really like its own shoe. Maybe it is because I don't really see another shoe that's like it. And if you do see a shoe that's like it, you're like, oh, that's a Croc. So I've never worn this style of Crocs before because I think this one has like fur on the inside. Not the biggest fan of it, but it's okay. But this one, this is the classic style Croc. I really do like these. I'm a big fan of these. I like the holes at the toe. It's very breathable. And I just really like the fabric. If you've ever worn a Croc, you know the fabrication that it's made of is like a rubbery, like kind of like a plastic thing. It just really, it's super comfortable. It's like a nice little snug shoe. You can just wear it anywhere with your shorts, whatever, when you're running little errands. I think it's a nice shoe. I like it. And these ones are a printed Croc. This one has like avocados on it. It's pretty cool. It's different. The back of it looks a lot different. It looks a little deeper in. So you know, there's plenty of different styles of Crocs. So this one looks a little bit deeper, like more of a shoe or like a clog, I guess. But it's still nice. I've never actually tried on a pair of these ones, but I do like them. Different variety, you know. You don't always have to wear the same stuff. And these ones are probably my favorite because I love the fact that you can pop in those little buttons. I have a ton of these guys. And it just really changes up your shoe. I don't care who sees me walking around looking like a little kid with these on. And I change my buttons frequently, almost every time I wear them. Who are you to judge me? That is my life. No, but I do like these Crocs. And I have so much of those freaking things that you can change. It just really makes you feel like customized, you know, like, oh, nobody else has these ones just like this because I have freaking French fries and hamburgers on mine today, and tomorrow's gonna be lightning bolts, whatever. But it just makes them really cool, just a different feel, you know, almost like you're wearing a new shoe every time you're wearing the same shoe because you change the buttons. But yeah, so these are a few of the shoes, guys, that I wanted to shine a little bit of light on and show a little bit of versatility, show you what you can wear them for and with, and just kind of talk about that with you guys. And if you have your favorite shoe that you didn't get to see on this, please let me know in the comments and tell me about them. Tell me about your shoe that I didn't get to touch bases on. So, I mean, that's good. Fill me in. I love the back and forth, guys. And while you're doing that, make sure you subscribe. All right, I will see you next time. Deuces. All right, let me see what else I can get into.